Not live yet. Hi, now
We
we're
are
live. Good
live.
morning. Good morning, good morning,
Good
good morning,
morning.
and happy Wednesday. And welcome to the Everyday Riches Show. I am Pat Knauer.
And I am Barbara Luna Ellison.
Excellent. And we are here, and we're so excited to be starting this wonderful podcast today and to have you joining us. If you're watching us live, that's great. If you're watching us on replay, that's okay too. We love having you here and having you part of this community. So, Miss Barb,
And these are the joys of technology. Pat, you have totally frozen.
have I really? Because you're
There
actually
you
like
okay,
not
now you're back.
frozen. Okay, because you weren't
Now
frozen
you're
at
back.
all.
Okay.
Something's going on out there.
Okay. So you know what? And isn't this absolutely the way things are and in business and in life? That here we are working, doing something that we think is really positive, and technology just kind of like, okay. And we just go on. The thing is, and we just go on.
Because
We just go
technology,
on.
as
And
we
I think
all know,
mine just reset.
yeah, and as we know, technology comes and goes, and things change. And I don't know about you, but last week I was doing Facebook Lives using Zoom, and it was working perfectly fine. And then I guess it was Thursday night or early Friday morning, Facebook made some changes, and now Zoom isn't working, isn't playing nice with Facebook right now. So you just have to keep on going and find a way to make things work,
Yep,
right? Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we thought we would talk about today is that's the difference between whether you are striving or if you are thriving.
That's exactly right.
When you're striving, that means you're just letting like for me anyway. So that's what we'll talk about. For me, that means that I am just that everything is a chore, that everything is I just can't do this, or everything is against me, or technology is not my friend. Whereas thriving is that, you know what? Let's just roll with the punches. Let's just roll with what happens, and what happens, what happens. And isn't that just such a thing of life that
And
we
it's
can
kind of a
either
good
let
thing.
things bother us or we can just go on.
And when you think about it, it's kind of a good thing because sometimes we think we're going in the right direction with something, and then something will happen that will make us swerve and serpentine to go in a different direction, and better things happen. I mean, when I'm thinking about COVID right now and the way
Right.
that a lot of businesses have had to make adjustments, including me and including you, we've had to make adjustments this year. And because of it, you can either let your business and your life change in a positive way, or it can change in a negative way. But either way, it's okay because this is a journey. It's a
You
journey.
know what? And that's exactly it. And that's what last night when we did our little promo about it, that's one of the things that we were talking about was that sometimes we just have to sit back and enjoy the journey, wherever that journey takes us.
Yeah.
And business is not a linear, straight up kind of thing.
Life isn't
You're going
either.
to go up, sideways, down, up, sideways, back. And that's exactly how life is. When I look back on especially the last 9 years of my life, when after David passed away, it was like, oh, what, because back then it was like, what am I going to do? I had no idea. And then it was like discovering who I was and what I wanted to do. And part of that was me. I was so grateful that I met you not long, well, maybe a year or so, year and a half after David passed away. And this has been an amazing journey of growth and feeling stuck, growth, feeling stuck, growth, feeling stuck, growth, and that's exactly what happens to people. But for myself, I think what happens sometimes is that once in a while we get stuck. And even if I just realize now that even if I take one step forward, it moves you out of stuck. So
Yeah, there's an
what do
old
you think?
saying,
You're
there's
a
an old
business
saying that
coach,
momentum builds momentum.
right?
And that
Exactly.
when you, again, take one step, but sometimes if you're feeling really, really stuck, it helps to really start taking a self inventory.
Right.
And this is something that I'm doing right now. It's not that I'm stuck where I am right now, but I'm doing a self inventory, and it's something that I haven't done for sort of a long time. Back in 2014, when I left my corporate job and started on this journey of being an entrepreneur full time. I had a business before, but I also had a job before at the same time. But when I made this decision, I sat down with a therapist and I said, okay, I get some concerns that I can actually do this thing. And one of the things that he suggested that was absolutely brilliant, and something I recommend that everybody really do it every single year, and although I've skipped a couple of years on doing it, is to actually list out everything you know, whether it's something
Right.
small or whether it's big, and go back job by job, or bands of life in your past. Well, go back in 5-year bands and write down all the things that you've learned, and it's amazing how much you've forgotten that you know. And when you start feeling stuck, if you have that inventory of what you know and what you can do, it's amazing how you can then, how it's number one, it starts building confidence, and you have to have confidence to do anything. And the only way to build confidence is to actually do stuff. So it builds your confidence that, oh yeah, I've got this whole bunch of stuff in my background that I can actually tap in on. There's I think it was Shamika Tankerson. She one day took out a dollar bill and she said, actually, I think it was maybe $100 bill, but anyway, she had this bill, a piece of money. And she said, so what is this? And, of course you say, it's a $20 bill. And she says, okay. And she crumples it up and she says, is this any different than a $20 bill? No, of course not. And then she kind of, rubs mud all over it. And she says, is this any different than a $20 bill? No, of course. And then she tears it up into pieces. It's still a $20 bill. In all these different shapes and forms, no matter how broken down it gets, it's still the same amount of money. It's the same thing with you. And it's the same thing with me. We are still the same people we are, and we still have those same experiences within us. It's a matter of communicating it differently.
Right.
Different way of
right.
things. Yeah.
And I think once in a while, for me, one of the things that I have had to learn too is that the 4 most awful words in the English language is that I already know that. And that has been, okay, Barbara, what are you going to learn from this, whatever this is? And that this can be a really positive thing, or it can be a really kind of negative thing, a less than stellar thing. And okay, so what can I learn from it? What can I build on if it's positive? What can I let go of if it's negative? And don't get stopped in the, well, I already know that, and so you're not willing to explore it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, like if something comes across my desk or in my radar, and it even sparks a little spark, yes, you have to be careful of shiny object syndrome. Absolutely. And I've been the victim of that. But once in a while, when something really piques your interest, it's like, okay, I'll just look at that. And for the couple of seconds that it takes you to look at it, if it's something that you are really going to use right now, not something, oh, I can use that 3 years from now, but if I can use it right now. Because I heard a phrase this morning on one of the calls that I was on for WPN. And it was like, because sometimes when you do that, it turns into self-help shame. I loved that, because that's exactly what happens. We get stuck in, oh, brother, we've joined one more thing and we're not using it. We're not doing anything with it or whatever. So that's why, I mean, you have to look at things because they can be really helpful right now. But if it's right now, great, go for it and do it. But if it's something that's, oh yeah, I'll be able to use that later because I'm not there yet, that has been one of my big things. Oh, I'll use that later, but I can't use it now. And you know what? If you can't use it now, it'll come around again when you can.
It always does. It always does.
And it always does. Because
yeah,
business
so
is in cycles.
Haven't you found over the years, you touched on a couple things that, I think would be really helpful and valuable for today. So haven't you found that over the years, when you buy a product or a service or something comes across and it comes around again, you're in a different place and you see it differently.
Exactly.
So even though you've seen it the first time, and you may have gone through an entire program or learned an entire way of doing something, but the next time that you do it, you're different. So it's
Right.
different, right?
Right.
So haven't you found that to be the
It's,
case as well?
oh, absolutely. For me, it's like reading the Bible. Sometimes like I'll read a passage that is like, I know that I have read the book of Ephesians many, many times. And yet every once in a while something will pop up and it'll go like, oh, really? And it's like because I'm ready to hear it. Either I'm ready to hear it or it's something that has now relevant to what I'm going through. And that is just so true. And that's the same of business. Or you meet people you're not ready for 2 years ago, but now it's like, wow, where have they been for the last 2 years? Well, it's not that they haven't been, but they're in a different place. They've grown. Like I was watching a thing from Anik Singhal of Learn, and he was interviewing Russell Brunson, and they were talking about when Russell Brunson was marketing potato guns,
That was his first
and yet
product.
that was his first product, and yet now he is the founder of ClickFunnels, and he
Mm,
said they have over 100,000 monthly subscribers.
yeah, it's pretty
And
amazing.
he started with marketing potato guns.
Yep,
So you
that was
know
his
what?
very first product. Yep,
Everybody has to start somewhere.
yeah,
So that was
absolutely.
really good that was good to hear. That was good to hear because I think we always put these big guns on pedestals and go, oh, but I haven't achieved that. But you know what? They didn't start there. They didn't start there. It's like once in a while hearing Brendan Burchard about when he was living on his friend's couch. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. So it's
Yeah, it's really interesting because a lot of people who are, massive successes have gone through really tough times, where
right,
they have been broke, where they have, I know another guy who was living in his car for a while. And he said that
right,
he realized that the best thing to do was to get a $10 gym membership at Planet Fitness because he could at least go in every day and take a shower.
right.
So that's what he did, which I thought was kind of an interesting take on poverty. But, and he was really successful in the financial services world and lost everything and had to rebuild his life. And yet, this happened. It seems to happen a lot, especially with the people who are at the real up and up, the top level players. They seem to go through this. And while it's not recommended that you lose everything,
Right.
certainly not recommended, the lessons that can be learned are amazing. Like, one of the things you mentioned earlier was about the shelf help. How many
Right.
times had you or I purchased something, and probably you out there too, how many times have we purchased something that we weren't quite ready for? And by the time that
Exactly.
we think we're ready for it or we get to it, it's the wrong thing for us.
Or it's obsolete and something even better has progressed because you know what? The people that were developing it have developed even more.
Or less
It's like
expensive.
or
Or
and
less
for less
expensive.
expensive. For
Yeah.
less expensive.
I
So,
mean, here's an example. So I signed up for a course this year that was pretty expensive. It was just under $20,000, and I thought, yes, this is the perfect program for me. And I got into it, and as much as I love it, there have been other programs that have come along that have appealed to me even more. But I've locked myself into spending a $20,000 program that another program might have given me the same or better results. Happens. And that's not to say
yeah,
I'm not going to buy anything. It's not to say I'm not going to complete the program. It's not to say that it's not going to give me great results in the end. It's just that
mhm,
when you're spending your money, you want to make sure you're buying the right thing for you. And so many times, I don't know about you, but I have found that, I'll be at an event and they'll say, "Oh, get this product program, get it right now because there's a limited amount." I
right.
mean, I guess I can speak ill of the dead at this point, There's a company out there, it was called Peak Potentials, and it became New Peaks, and then it became Success Resources. And from what I gather, they're out of business now. At least the Success Resources America is out of business. But,
They
they
are?
were,
Okay.
yeah, they were
We
classic.
spend a lot of money. We spend a lot of money with them.
Way too much money. And the problem with them was that they would give you a piece and another piece, and then you buy another piece and another piece, and you never had the whole system together. And that was, spent way too much money with them and really never got a result out of anything. So, and in the end, it wasn't even like they were all live events. So it wasn't like you got copies of things or recordings of things. You walked away from it and what you have are your notes, but again, it's not enough to do anything with. So,
right. They gave us the what, and that's so true. So, and that's what part of what we want this show to be about, is that we want to not only give you the what to do, we want to give you a few of the little how to do it.
Yes.
Because so often, like for me, and we didn't really introduce ourselves. We just realized,
no, we forgot to do that,
for me,
didn't we?
I'm on a mission, like for me, I'm on a mission to make happiness the norm rather than the exception. And one of the things that I do is I'm a personality science trainer, because we have to get along with the people around us, because personality, it can make or break a sale. It can, make teams so efficient and so effective, and yet it can totally sabotage a team. It can build relationships. It can bring heartache to relationships. So that's one of the things that I am absolutely passionate about. And I love working with people to help them do that. However, that was one of the things that I was introduced to years ago, but it was not, it was there on my radar, but it wasn't something that I was doing until this year. So sometimes it's timing. This year, it has exploded in my brain that, wow, this is what people really need, that we need to get along with the people around us. And I help to teach people how to do that, because it's a skill that you can learn. And so it's fun. You can revisit things. We're not saying that you're never going to, that everything that you do is wrong, because sometimes it is timing. And Pat, I know you've done the same thing, that you've, looked at things and then years later, oh yeah, I am ready for it now.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
sometimes we do get caught up in the shelf help, and then we feel bad that, oh yeah, we spent so much money, didn't get anywhere with it.
Yeah.
But I do have to thank Peak Potentials, because they had brought in, Codebreaker Technologies, and I was introduced to them, and it has been a blessing. I am so grateful. So some things do come out of less than stellar things. So tell us about you, Miss Pat.
Okay, so I know, right? So I am a business coach, and I've been a business coach now for more than 18 years. I've owned 3 businesses, and I am totally passionate about businesses succeeding. One of the things that I really get frustrated about, and I try not to let my frustration show, is that so many times business owners are not open to getting help in their businesses. So they struggle and they strain. And even when they're doing well, they still aren't doing as well as they could be. For example, I'm so many times businesses focus on their top line revenue, but forget about their bottom line revenue. The average business loses somewhere between $5,000 and $40,000 a month in revenue. There are ways of fixing that. And hiring and firing and dealing with HR issues and running your business. There are so many ways of making your business so much more efficient, so you make more money. When you make more money, you can hire more people, you can donate more money, you can start a nonprofit wing of your business. You can have a better lifestyle. You can have a lifestyle, not only bringing in more money, but also having more time with your family and friends. It's all a matter of how you structure your business. And a lot of times business owners, even if they've been in business for 20 or 25 years, if they have not actually sat down to figure out the destination and their exit strategy, and, do they want to sell it? Do they want to scale it? Do they want to, be an active part in it? What they want to do in the business and how to make things happen, they're losing money. And again, lost money is a lost way of living. So My goal in life, as much as I love doing other things, is I'm so focused on helping businesses make money. And it's not just about money.
Right.
Again, it's about lifestyle as well. I'm also in the process of starting a new company, because why not, right? I haven't started a
I'm
new
so excited.
company. I know, right? I haven't started a new company in what, like, a bunch of years, a lot of
Oh,
years.
you're really cracking up.
Oh, am I really? Oh no, this is important. So no, I'm starting a new company, because I want to
Oh, you're
go
back.
through the I want to go through the experience of starting a new company again. You know, a lot of things change over times, and when you're in a business for a long period of time, believe it or not, your experiences and your talents and skills become stale. So it's important to do something new from time to time to make sure that your business scales and grows. So I know that my coaching business is going to be much stronger because I'm starting another company. I'm going to have new talent, skills, and abilities I'm going to bring into it, and things that are more up to date than things I've been doing, even though what I've been doing
Right.
is, cutting edge. But as I do things, as I create things, I'm going to bring that into the coaching experience for other companies, and I'm going to watch their businesses explode even more. So that's what I'm up to, and that's what I'm all about. But like Barbara said, communication is a big part of business. If you're not communicating effectively your message out to your community, your message to your employees, the message to your vendors, and that everybody else can communicate your message back out into the community, it's just not working,
Right.
right?
And one of
Yeah.
the things that Pat and I had said yesterday in our little blurb about this podcast, I think we're not supposed to say the FB word, or like don't
The LI
leave
word or the IG word.
and so leave notes for us if you want to talk to us. But one of the things that we want to bring you gifts. So in the show notes when we're finished with this, we're going to put some freebies that one we're going to start with one each and go from there, because we're going to be having experts come on who are also going to be giving out freebies. And because we are in this to help people to build their businesses,
Yeah.
and to
Well, their
do it
lives.
authentically, and to
Yeah.
do it from a place of that you are heart centered. And I think that has just absolutely become such. There's a worldwide movement going on, and one of the men that I listened to the other day, and he gave out a free book of how to have a heart, how to get in touch with the law of attraction and your heart center. And I'm like, so that's one of the things that I'll share out. And I'm sure he won't mind because he's giving out himself, so it'll help him. And that's one of the things, if we all help each other.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you have something out there that you want to, we're looking for people that are going to help in this movement, this mission to help our businesses to build and to grow and to scale and to all the words that signify having growth,
So
and
I don't know about,
realizing that companies make mistakes too.
yeah, they do make mistakes. Boy, do they make mistakes.
Did you have you I the other day, I'm going to share this. The other day I read, it was in Inc magazine, and they were talking about Microsoft. And Microsoft has made a huge boo-boo in trying to put their name onto Bing. People, we use Google. I mean, Google is now a verb. Google it. That's a verb.
Yeah.
Just because you put the whole article was about that. Just because you're a big name and you put your name on something else does not make people start to use it.
No, it
So
does
it was
not.
like, that was just a really interesting article.
Yeah.
It was
It's been
interesting
really
to read.
interesting to see the mistakes that some of the larger companies have been making, especially recently. But let's do that on another show. Let's do that on another show, because I mean, we could do an entire segment on the mistakes that large companies are making, like Disney. Oh my gosh, I could go for an entire segment on Disney and the mistakes that they've made during COVID. I'm sure they would not think that they're mistakes, but from a consumer perspective, oh, they're big ones. They're huge mistakes. So Yeah, in fact, maybe we'll do that. I think we already have a guest scheduled for next week and maybe the next week after, but maybe we'll delve into that somewhere along the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, just because, so often people don't think about all of the things that have gone wrong. They think they're the only ones that they've had something, that they've done something, that something has gone wrong. Oh, some of the big companies, they have really had things go wrong.
they have. Like they've launched products that
And
have totally flopped. And they put like,
totally
millions and
bombed.
millions and millions of dollars behind an ad campaign that didn't take off. Happens all the
That
time.
that and so
All
yeah,
the time.
and so I think that's something that I think that would be a fun thing. We'll have to do some research on that. Just some of
We
the
will.
biggest mistakes out there.
And yet it's important to not
So
compare yourself to others, right?
exactly,
Because you are who you are.
exactly,
I read a
exactly.
statistic the other day that there are 9 million businesses in the world or in the country. I think it was in the world.
Okay,
9 million businesses, and every one of them is completely different. And every one of them is run
exactly.
completely different. And
Right,
that's because the people who are in the business and the leadership of the business is different. So you can't compare
exactly.
yourself to somebody else. I mean, look at within a family. I mean, every person within a family is completely different. So to compare
Oh,
yourself to Joe and Mary and mom and dad, I mean, it doesn't really work.
right. Well, that's why personality. That's why I love personality. Like a few weeks ago, I did a presentation for a parenting group, how to parent the child you have, not the one you
Mm.
want. And
Oh,
it was like, and she was like, "Oh, wow, Barb, this was because we compare our children." And when I look at my sisters, oh, yike. And sometimes we'll get, and we get together. I have three sisters, and we get together and we talk about our parents. It's like the four of us had completely different parents
yeah.
because we interacted differently with our parents. But I did have a couple of statistics that I wanted to share with you about one of the things of why Pat and I decided to do this Facebook Live. Okay.
This ought to be
So
interesting.
that's why part of why we're doing it. But because right now there are 31 million YouTube channels.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
there are.
There's
The rate
six
that people are loading stuff up, I believe it's 300 hours of content per second.
exactly. Exactly. So 600 million blogs,
Yes, there are. Who
and
doesn't have one?
there's right, but there's only 1 million podcasts.
Oh,
So
interesting.
our thought is 1 million podcasts. So our thought is that we are going to take this Facebook Live. So for the net, and and one of the things they talk about has launching a podcast. We're going to use this quarter to be able to have content and to be able to stream it out. But then, what do you call the word that when you take out just the audio? You're in charge
You
of that.
you rip you rip the content. You rip the audio.
You rip the content. Okay, so
You rip
you
the
rip the
audio.
audio rip the audio out, and we're going to have 3 months of content that we're going to be able to launch the Everyday Riches podcast come January.
Okay, so
And we're
there's
already
a
going to
mistake.
have
There's a mistake that we just made. Because remember, we've decided we're going to be completely authentic in this, right? We're doing this for the
yep,
first time, and we're going to mess up probably more than anybody could even possibly mess up. So, because we're saying that we're doing this on Facebook, now we can't put it on on YouTube. YouTube won't take it; they'll take it off of YouTube. So here's content now we
right,
can't put on YouTube. So when you're doing it yourself, if you decide to launch any kind of a program and you want to use multi-channel,
oh
you
right,
can't say the name of where you're actually placing it. So for
right,
instance, if you're going to stream it on YouTube, you can't say YouTube and then put it on Facebook because it won't be accepted. They have algorithms and they've got computer programs that scan through and they look for words. So for instance, right
all right.
now,
Lesson
hi
learned.
Effie, we can't say the name of who you are because Right now, if they find content on there that they don't like, they'll pull your content off. But if it's on there without saying the name of the platform you're using, they typically will not pull it off because it's not something that applies to them. Fascinating way of that algorithms are working right now, but that's just the way it is. That's why when Barbara's saying put notes because they don't like you using the word that's printed down below. And when you say, if you know anybody who might like this content, make sure to tell them about it rather than using the button. So just saying, gotta know what the game is and how to play it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But you know what? And that's one of the things we just said, when we first thought about this, we said, we're just going to be, because we really, don't you find so often people want to do stuff, but they want to wait until they have all their ducks in a row, that they've got everything done perfectly, they have everything ready. We're like, yeah, no, that's not going to be us, because we want to learn as we're going.
Completely unscripted.
So totally exactly. Totally unscripted. Yeah. The only thing that I did do that I'm very happy about, and I'm going to give him a little shout out to Steve Ellison. He helped me with my lighting. I have a really weird area. And it was like, yeah, Barb, you got to do, one of the things he said, you've got to work on. I said, what do I need to do first? And he said, work on your lighting. And that has been an absolute shout out to Steve. And I'll put his name up. And in fact, he has a free course that I think he's going to be doing. He has a free roadmap, a business roadmap. And maybe I'll ask him if I can put that out for you next week. Anyways, but
why don't we just have him on?
First things first.
Why don't we just have him on as a guest and he can give it out himself?
Well, why don't we ask him? I'll ask him. I'm going to be talking to him this afternoon.
I'm sure he'd love
I'll
to.
ask what he wants to do next week. I'm sure he would love to. And so because we hadn't decided on a guest for next week. Another thing, maybe line up some guests before you.
Oh no, because we have guests coming. We definitely have guests coming. So hold on a second, because I'm looking at my calendar. So we do have some guests coming. Like our first guest we have lined up is on the 21st. So, and we thought initially that we would do a couple weeks of you getting to know us before we start bringing in other guests.
Okay, then I will. Then we'll you and I will talk, and we'll see. This is totally unscripted. But this is how Pat and I's conversations go.
Yes.
We jump around but you know what? That's going to be the fun. That's going to be the fun part of this.
Yeah, we
don't want to be just giving out information. We want to have fun with this, because business can be fun.
And I'm going to encourage you to come to our page and to do the thing, so that you can, you can start seeing what content we're putting out there. This is just the start. We're going to be doing a lot of things, and we're going to be posting a lot of things on this page so that you actually get to see what we're up to, and to actually learn from the experiences that we're learning along the way. Every single day is a learning experience, and every single day I screw up. I just do. And every single day I question, am I doing the right thing? And every single day, I look and I think, should I be doing something different? What can I do differently in my business and my life to make life even happier and find more gratitude than I had the day before? So expect to see that kind of stuff in here. And, it may just be an impromptu, jump on here and do some kind of a live or a podcast or something like that will get posted here. So, do this with the page, and, let's make sure that you're hearing what we have to say. And who knows, maybe you'd like to be a guest on the show, but unless we know you're here, we're not going to be able to offer a spot to you.
Right. Absolutely. And we can have multiple guests. So if we've got a couple of people with different points of view, hey, you know what? Let's have because it's a conversation. Let's have a conversation about what you do. about
The only
what
thing
you
we
do
do ask
and
if you are,
what message you bring to the world.
and we're going to ask that if you do have something to give, we want to make sure that everybody who comes on as a speaker with us has something to give. So you've got to have a freebie in order to give it away, right? So it's important. And we'll talk to you about that if you do decide that you do want to be a guest on the show, about, what the requirements are to be a guest, because we want to make sure that it's real value being given out, that it's not just fluffy stuff.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we are just going to have fun.
Yes. That's the goal.
And bring
Always
value, and that's what it is.
Yes.
So, all righty. Anything else? We want to value your time. So.
Yep. Any last comments, Barb?
No, you've totally broken up.
Again. Okay. Well,
Again.
okay. Okay.
There you are.
Okay. So do you have any last comments for today?
Just, you know what? Go out there, do your best, make a difference in the world, and join us next week.
Yeah. And have a good time in the next week. And if there's any way we can possibly help you or serve you, let us know. We're here for you. We're here for you.
Yep. Absolutely. Okie dokie. Then we will talk to you next week, and we're going to just have a great time and have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.